Hi everyone, it's Angela. I hope that you all have been good and groovy since the last time that I saw you yesterday. Um, Today I wanted to talk about something that I've seen a lot online about here on YouTube, and I've got quite a few opinions about it, and it is detransitioning. No, I'm not detransitioning. Very happy with the choice I made. Um, to transition. The thought has crossed my mind before, but it's crossed my mind just sort of in response to the amount of people who do detransition, and I've asked myself, you know, would I ever go back the other way? And it's an immediate no for me. This is who I am. There's really no place to go back from. I evolved. I grew. I didn't, I blossomed. There's no, I didn't leave anything behind. Um, I've learned to let parts of myself go and to die, but I never, there's no place to return to. There's no other me that's out there that I've had to push aside. Um, and the reason I wanted to make this video is because I was watching yet another trans person who decided to transition back to, this is a male to female who decided to transition back to male. And I find it interesting that almost every single one of those people who have decided to transition back become sort of tranny haters. They become, they start to devalue other people's transition and often feel as though it's this big, I don't know. For instance, this one person was saying, and I won't say their name, although they put it out there. I mean, if I find their videos, I will actually put a link. But he was saying that, most of us are using this as an escape from our problems, aren't able to handle our insecurities and deal with who we really are. And he did admit that transition was the way that he was able to sort of explore his gender and come to the conclusion that he was indeed um, male identified. And, that's a legitimate experience, but to, you know, surmise, come to the conclusion that everyone else's transition is inauthentic is ridiculous. Like, it's interesting for me as a person who didn't transition until I didn't know for sure that I was going to transition until 30. I was on hormones by 32. It was a process. It was like this 2-year process um, of acceptance, getting ready, preparing my life, making a plan, getting more hormones, and getting to a city where I can go full time. Um, it was a process, and I explored. I really did explore. I did live as a gay man for self-identified gay man for 13 years. I was 17 when I officially first came out to my mom as gay. But when I told her that, I remember writing in my diary, and some of you may recall this story, that very night that I just told my mom I'm gay, but it doesn't seem, something's missing in that statement. There seems to be more to the story than that. I didn't know what it was at the time. I was in complete denial and darkness about my gender identity, but I knew that being gay wasn't it. I never really had a problem with liking men. I've liked men my whole life. I've had boyfriends. My first real boyfriend, I guess, was high school. God, I'm hot. I think, I put my foot in my mouth in the other video. I said that not taking more hormones is going to be fine. I'm not going to have any issues. I've been having hot flashes like a mother sucker today. Like, it's awful. Like, oh my God, it's so bad. I'm so uncomfortable. And it's 74 degrees outside. Anyway, I get sidetracked so easily. Um, so for 13 years, I did live as gay identified. But even in that time, my experience as a gay man was like being a visitor in someone else's world. I remember I've had two of my friends. One of my friends has been my best friend since 17. We met in college, and then another one of my friends um, that I've had for that long a time, we met when we were 12. They're both gay guys, and it was through them that I really realized that I wasn't male identified. I mean, that's not really part of the story, but what I did notice, like with them, the way they related to their bodies and even their penises, because we talked about that kind of stuff, was just different. Like one of my friends told me when I decided to transition, oh my God, you make sense now. And so the difference too is that I didn't have the internet. I didn't know a bunch of trans people. There weren't trans people on TV. There was no Will and Grace on TV. You know, in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 90s, you know, you had to come to the conclusion of who you were based on your own life. And it just really bothers me, these detransitioned people who say that we're having identity crises, and we don't know who we are. We have insecurities. I have insecurities regardless of transition. I have problems regardless of transition. Transition did cure my gender identity dysphoria, but there are other things. And, you know, this YouTuber also alluded to the fact, and I still watch their videos because they make really, really cool videos about other content. But that a lot of trans people don't have the opportunity to explore their gender, and they just rush into transitioning. And I think that's a product of the amount of acceptance that we have now as trans people. There are so many people who maybe think like, you know, there's androgynous boys who think they look pretty and may look good in clothes, and so they transition. You know, whenever anyone asks me what I think about them transitioning, I tell them don't do it. It's just too much to go through. You'll know if it's for you, you will know. That was the advice that I was given. As a matter of fact, you know, another trans person told me, I don't think you'll be able to handle it. I don't think you'll ever be able to transition. It'll be too much for you. It really pissed me off, but, you know, and I had to figure it out for myself. And, you know, whenever I hear somebody say, I've heard people say, oh, I could never transition because um, I won't, you know, I won't look good, or it's about clothes and all this stuff. And to a certain degree, I can get that because I was 6'2" when I started transition. I've shrunk, and it did help me. I do think maybe if I were shorter in college or when I was younger, I'm not nothing to do with school, but like when I was in my teens, I may have pushed the gender boundaries a little bit more. I mean, as it is, in my late teens, early 20s, I was playing with androgyny a lot and could pass very easily when I wanted to. But I just think those are all, I think some people are cross dressers and just don't want to admit it. I think some people are really, really femme men. I think maybe even on the flip side, I don't know that I've seen this a lot. I've not seen it as much in trans men. There are those out there. Um, but again, I think it's sometimes people who come from such rigid backgrounds that they are not allowed to, or have not allowed themselves to really explore um, just the kind of person that they want to be. And it may seem easy to, because I think people on the outside see how we fit into society. And like, I know sometimes feminine gay men see how transgender women get men, you know, we get men or we get male attention and stuff, but they don't see the everyday life. And the everyday life is difficult. You have to deal with body dysmorphia, medical transitions, hormones, your family, your friends, rejection, depression, um, all kinds of stuff. And we do it because this is who we are. And it's not a joke. It's not a game. It's not an experiment. And that just really infuriates me. And so I wanted to make a video about it because I, I just I just wanted to add another voice to that conversation. Just because someone decided that or number one, they couldn't handle transition, or number two, that they had made the wrong decision, that's fine for them, but that doesn't mean that those of us who know who we are and know what our journey is, that we know this is right for us. Um, and you know, I don't have a lot of respect for people who attack other people based on their own experiences. That's really narrow-minded to me. It's short-sighted and displays a lack of experience and a lack of compassion for themselves as well as for others. I just think it's quite ridiculous. So I'm going to leave it here. I just wanted to make sure that I made a video. This has been on my mind, so I thought I would take a little break from the day. I'm thinking about pulling back on this daily vlogging. It's starting to interfere with just my life because I needed to take a break to do it. I mean, I didn't have to, but I wanted to. And once I get into my day, once I get my day started, I just kind of go. And I've had things to do, so I haven't had time to make a video in the morning like I normally do. Like now, I must have gotten a tan. Like I look so light through here, and like my arms are dark. Oh, by the way, I got my hair done and I don't like it. Like, she cut all of my hair here. Like, my hair had grown out, so like it's really weird and boxy, and I feel like I don't know how to style it. It's weird. It's really weird. So I think I'm just gonna end up slicking it all back again, cause she's not. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I just don't like it. Sorry guys. As always, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Oh, camera's over here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. As always, I love you guys. If no one has told you today that they love you, know that I love you. Set good intentions and have a blessed day. Peace.